Driven TV, and today we're going to be giving you news on the Defender, the new Defender.
Yes, the new Defender.
Yeah, the Porsche Taycan. I've totally done my research. Don't worry about it. BMW 1 Series,
The new one.
So let's get on with it. Okay, so first things first, we're going to be talking about the Defender. I don't know why I'm doing that. Which was, when was it announced?
A few weeks ago. Big news. Obviously, we were quite intrigued because, well, at the moment we're sat in one of the old Defender 90s. Yeah. So, at first when we heard that the Defenders were being discontinued, we were a bit, oh, well, this is all we're going to be building. We were a bit disappointed, but now we've seen them and seen what they're going to have, we're a bit more positive towards them. We thought they'd come out looking like your standard Range Rovers, but they are quite different. The new Land Rover Defenders have been purposely designed for function and to try and keep some of the heritage of the old Defender. Again, both, you'll get a 90 and you'll get a 110 edition, with each of those having different models and style packs. So you'll get 5 different types of models. There's the S, SE, HSE, First Edition and the X. Now in all of those you get an additional 4 style packs. You get Country, Adventure, Urban and Explorer. The style packs are more to do with, say, roof racks. One version you get a ladder on the side, on the outside, and as well as things like roof racks, which have apparently got a weight of 168 kilograms, so they can carry 168 kilograms without the car going over. Along with that, there is going to be 170 separate accessories along with that one being the roof rack.
Wow, that's a lot of accessories actually. So what do they? I think I've been on the website. I think it consists of an air compressor that you can have in the back, which is damn cool if you ask me.
Yeah, I believe there's also water systems.
Yeah, which
there's stuff that you can go on the outside for carrying cases.
The accessory carrying cases. They, in my opinion, look pretty good.
Yeah, as well as featuring all that, it's going to be quite high tech. So, whereas this, I mean, your air conditioning in this is 2 vents. This will have air conditioning. It will have a 10-inch touchscreen display with the ability to alter gearbox functions, the response time of the accelerator. You can lock and unlock differentials. So it'll be quite a high-tech piece of equipment.
That's the problem though. I think a lot of people were waiting for like a manual, like them to go, surprise, here's a manual.
Yes.
And it's no longer going to happen anymore. But if you go and, I reckon you could update one of these quite high.
Yeah.
Like you could update the engine, you could get a whole new, you could create your own Defender if you wanted to.
That's the good things about the old ones, is you can do what you want.
Yeah. Like the new one is going to be so high tech, it's unreal. It's going to do it itself. Like I think they've even said like it detects what road you're on. Yeah. So it'll detect if there's snow, there's dirt, there's sand. It will detect it and it will just change on the fly. But I think they've said that you can actually set profiles, can't you? So you can have it so you're in more control of it. So there is that manual aspect there, but it is an awkward situation, isn't it? Like I think a lot of people were really hoping that they were going to say, "Oh, we're going to do an exclusive manual," even if it was like maybe a limited edition.
Yeah.
But they haven't gone and done it, so I think that's a fair few people that are like a little bit disappointed.
I mean, one good feature that you will be getting is the new Defender will feature a front, rear and side cameras, so you can have pretty much a 360 all-round view what's going on. The front camera, I believe they have this system where it makes it look like you're looking through the engine. If the engine's visible, so I believe it has digital wheels on it, so you can tell what angle your wheels are. So you can see what's coming ahead of you. If there might be a little rock that maybe off the end of your bonnet you can't see, this camera will straight get it.
Also, something I've seen in on YouTube is when someone was obviously in the Defender, and which I love. I absolutely love. They're bringing the middle seat back. Now mine hasn't got it because it's been modified and it's been taken out. But they've introduced the middle seat back, which I think is a bit like this, but higher. But
yeah, the way it also works is it can fold down, so it can act as armrest or whatever. But then there is the ability to pull it all the way up, and it is a full functioning seat.
Yeah, and then also what I liked is you've got your traditional rear view mirror, so it's just a plain old mirror. But then when that seat goes up, and I don't know if you have to, if it automatically does it, or you have to do it like the XE where you have to like flip a switch underneath. It will turn into a digital one, so it will basically be using the rear view camera, which is a really cool aspect in my opinion. But the thing with the off-roading cameras all the way around, that's going to help a lot of people, because if you get too close to a tree or something, you're going to see that tree, or the car's going to, I guess the car would tell you it's going to have.
I mean, there might be safety systems in there saying, "Oh, look, you're getting quite close to." But one of the big major upgrades will be the engine. Now, this is what, 2.2 litre turbo?
I think so. They've gone for 2.2 this time.
Well, this current one we sat in with only 95 horsepower.
This is 2.5 turbo diesel, and it's 116, I think.
So there'll be 4 new engines. One will be a diesel, a 2 litre diesel, and that will create 197 brake horsepower. There will also be a second 2 litre diesel engine, which will be 236 brake horsepower. There is an inline 4 petrol, which is 296 brake horsepower. And there's going to be a mild kind of hybrid type petrol straight 6, which creates a whopping 395 brake horsepower. Now, 395 brake horsepower is, yeah, it's great, but let's hope that's going to have a lot of torque, because they're quoting that the new Defender will be able to climb a 45-degree angle.
That's
quite a lot. So
that's quite a lot
you're going to need to be able to get up. It's going to feature a winch as well. So a lot of these days, a lot of people will bolt a winch on. This, they can come with a winch.
Now, that's quite handy actually, that they're coming with a winch for a change, because not a lot of companies do that by standard.
Yeah.
And when you do that, when you put your own on, you're sort of risking all the electrics, but because it's actually done by obviously Land Rover, one, it's modified and you won't have to like claim it on insurance or you know, I know there's agreements out there like where you buy a car and then you can't upgrade it.
Or sometimes if you brought something brand new, put a winch on it, and then the winch went, well, that's not under warranty.
Yeah, so that's quite a lot. I like the way they've done this. Is that they've instead of rushing the car out and not doing accessories, they knew that because like, let's look at every Defender. Every Defender's different, isn't it? It's essentially different. Even if they are standard, they're different because they were handmade. And now they've introduced all these accessories, because obviously the Defender we're in now is in 1987, so that's got like God knows how many accessories. I know it's got more than 170, but 170 is a good start, isn't it?
It's a good start for what they're offering. Now, obviously, once it's released, people then out there, like the current Defenders, may even then say, right, okay, yeah, 170, but we can create new bumpers, we can create a lift system like this has got. Yeah. So, I mean, apparently the new Defender can weigh up to 900 millimeters. So it can go quite deep.
And I think you can also, I've looked on, because obviously I love the Defender, so it was like the day it like got announced. I was on the Land Rover website tinkering, and to be honest, I quite liked the way it was kind of stock. I didn't want all that like you know where like it'll have those window screens where it'll stop heat coming in or something from the sun or something. I wasn't that bothered about that. But anyway, my point is that the car is going to be a great car. I think it's not going to be a replacement for this Defender. It'll always be in my heart, and I think a lot of other people's hearts. There's definitely going to be people out there that's going to like think, no, I don't like that at all. Which is a fair point. If that's what you think, that's what you think. But I'm quite excited to get my hands on one of these.
I mean,
and actually test them out.
Obviously, it's not going to be for, say, like us, because the pure simple reason that the 90, the bog standard edition, starts at £40,000.
That's a lot of money.
Whereas the 110 is at 45,000. However, if you want the Defender 90, you'll have to wait around 6 months after the 110 has been released to be able to get your hands on the 90, because the 90 is going to be roughly 6 months later in 2020.
Nothing's been said about the commercial though, if
No.
you get what I mean. So I'm wondering if that's going to be cheaper or could it be dearer? Because if that's cheaper, I think a lot of people like this one. This one's a van edition.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was always that way, but I quite like it like that, and I would happily have the commercial edition.
Yeah,
but
because
how
with
that
the
work,
new
I don't know.
Defender, you've got the side panels, which towards the back, which can be pure glass. There will be also an edition where it's got like a small panel on the side. Well, I have seen photos where it's pure metal along the sides. I have heard some rumours of some places where there might be a Defender 130 edition coming later on at some point, where they're going to have extra room and I believe an extra 2 or 3 seats inside.
The only thing I am slightly disappointed about, and I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you could probably modify it, but is there's no pickup. Because I would have loved to see the double cab back.
Yeah.
Because the double cab for me is like a dream car. It's I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But when I look at them, they just look so damn cool that I just want to get in and drive it. And I think if they'd done it with this, it would look kind of interesting. Because I know they done a render of, I think it was an Evoque or a Range Rover or something like that. I'll see if I can find it. But they done that as a pickup, and that was a bit like, because that was a 6x6 system, which was like hella big. But we'll see. Like, there's people gonna go crazy and go to town on the modifications for this car. So I'm sure we'll see pickups. We'll see 6x6s. Probably even see a track edition, I guess. So I'm looking forward to see what we're gonna get. So right now we're going to talk about the new electric Porsche Taycan. So they're both 616 brake horsepower, but the launch control function is 671.
On the 671 brake horsepower on the turbo, however, the Turbo S with launch control, the launch control function will be about 751 brake horsepower, which is pretty good.
That's a lot.
Now, they have 2 names for them, the Turbo and the Turbo S, which to me is quite ironic because it's electric and there's not a single turbo on the vehicle.
That is strange, but like, is there a reason for it? Or
I think maybe it's just following on because you've got like the 911 turbo and all that.
Yeah, so maybe it might be a heritage thing.
Yeah, it might be.
Okay.
They're just keeping the name in there. Now, the price will also be differ between the 2 models. The standard turbo editions will start at 116,000, with the Turbo S being 139,000.
Well, we're not going to be getting one of them anytime soon.
So they're again quite a high end, quite expensive, but do you expect anything different from Porsche? They create good cars.
Yeah.
Naturally, they're going to follow the rough Porsche look. There will be quad daytime running LED lights in the front. and both of them have the same 39.4 kilowatt hour batteries inside them. So even though the Turbo S is more powerful, you're only going to have the same battery, which then means the range of the Turbo is 260 miles.
Oh, it looks actually
and the
nice.
Turbo S is 256 miles. So you're losing about 4 miles, to be honest, but that is all dependent on your driving style. If you put your foot down more, the battery's just going to go. But the battery is good because it can charge from 5% to 80% in just 23 minutes from what Porsche are quoting. That is on an 800 volt system. So in 23 minutes you can go from 5% to 80% of your batteries. So off that I would say probably about 35 minutes, 5% to about 100%. So you're not going to be sat around waiting. You can pretty much go off, have a coffee, come back and it's pretty much charged. The 0 to 62 is 3.2 seconds in the Turbo and the 2.8 in the Turbo S. So again, because the Turbo S has got that more power, it has a faster 0 to 62 time. However, each axle has its own motor. However, the front transmission has only got a single speed, where the rear transmission has got 2 speeds. So it can get the more power out of it, but it means it is also a all-wheel drive system. It's all the wheels are going to have power going to them. Inside features a 16.8 inch driver's display, so that is your speedometer. Obviously it could be a trip computer in there, so it's going to be a digital dashboard.
Longer any emissions either, because it's also electric.
So yeah, because it's electric, it will have 0 emissions. What has been said is they are not using Tesla's charging system. It is going to be a different system, so I don't know whether, like Tesla have got, especially in America, they've got a grid system of pretty much a lot of places have got a special Tesla charging point. I don't know whether Porsche are going to do something like that, or whether only so many places. I believe they could have used Tesla's charging system, but they've just decided to use their own.
That's going to be a tricky one, really, because there is already a lot of Tesla points. Like every service you go to, you pretty much see either 1 or 2. I think I've seen a max 5 at a service station. Yeah. Like you don't really see them at a petrol station, because let's be honest, you're not going to sit in a petrol station for half an hour or whatever. No,
but service stations, say, where you can go and grab a coffee, it's good because you can just plug it in. It having what does I say, 260 miles, pretty much means you're not going to be charging every 5 minutes. You can do a fair distance and then you can get there and charge up there, so long as there's a point.
260 miles, that's quite a lot, but I'm guessing that's
like with petrol, diesel, electric or anything. If you put your foot down, you're not going to get that full 260.
This is the problem though, because they're saying 260. Now that's just probably going to be on a warm day. Because in the winter that's probably going to drop dramatically, I would say, about...
Yeah, I mean, obviously with electrics as well, I know it's not going to be much, but if in a winter day you have your lights on, you have your blowers on, your heaters on, it's going to be that little bit more. It's going to bring it down a little bit more. It won't be anything major, but...
Yeah, because I was on my phone, you probably saw it in the video, but I was looking at the car, and the car looks...
It does look nice.
It does look nice. But it kind of got that aspect of the new Toyota Supra, which is a bit strange. So I don't know what's going on there, because obviously, well, I don't think they're anything to do with each other, are they? They're not grouped up. They're not a part of any group.
No.
So I don't know what's quite going on there, but I know there's a few cars out there that are like very similar. Like,
yeah, so
I think there was
similar these days.
Yeah, like there was one I know a few years ago when I was learning to drive, I was looking for a car. There was a Mazda the exact same as a Ford Fiesta. It was the exact same. And I think it's been the same, like I know I'm going back to Land Rover here, but there is a Land Rover out there where Honda actually took the Discovery, just the Discovery, and stuck a Honda badge on it and called it a Crossroader or something. I'll have a look, I'll see if I put it in the video, but yeah, that's the thing. So like companies keep doing that, it's very strange. But the car is really nice. Probably not going to get our hands on one ever.
No.
Because that's a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah,
unless I win the lottery on Tuesday, then
or
Wednesday or whenever, when I put it on, then I don't think we're ever going to get one.
Yeah.
It's not for the average people.
No. So that, say that is the new electric Porsche Taycan. Keep saying it wrong. Taycan.
Right, so the next one is the new BMW 1 Series. Now, I've looked at that. It's kind of interesting.
It is. The big main feature that I notice about it is the fact that now the grille is just gone boom. It looks quite big. It's quite a very defining feature on the front.
Yeah, they call it the kidney grille, don't they? But anyway.
But what we will say about the new BMW Series 1 is RIP to rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
Because the new Series 1 is going to be a front wheel drive system.
Then again, you don't see very many Series 1 drifting cars.
No.
Like, you can correct me out there if you have seen one. I personally haven't seen one. But yeah, but you ain't going to be drifting this one round anyway, regardless, even if it was rear wheel drive, because it's going to cost a whopping 24 grand. Well, 24,430
That's just for the base model. That's the standard model. However, they're going to be bringing out four different types of trim level. So you're going to have the big expensive one, which is the M135i. You're also going to get an SE, M Sports, and Sports. Now, the M135i will only come with one engine. That is a 4-cylinder turbocharged 2-litre petrol with 306 brake horsepower, and it only comes in automatic. There is no manual option for that vehicle.
Now, is it going to be like what the Jags are and stuff like that? It's going to be paddle shift?
I'm not sure about that one.
Because
with me and the automatics, I have driven a few, and I love the paddle shifters.
Yes.
However, when I drove an automatic once and there's no paddle shifters in it, I felt quite lost. Yeah. I've always been used to driving with a stick.
Yeah.
So when I've been coming up to islands, lights, I've been putting my foot for the clutch and there's been nothing else, and I've had to try and get myself to think. Where with paddle shifters, you can at least still come down.
Yeah. Like that's going to be an interesting one, because obviously again, it's one of those controversial things where there's a lot of people out there in the car sort of area that they said they like manuals, which is that is the main way to go. Automatics though I'm really sorry to say this, but they are the future.
They're the future, because they're easier. They're easier to do. You kind of really only have to put your foot on the accelerator and the brake. Yeah. However, I find more excitement come from maybe going down somewhere, someone's in the way, they go off somewhere, you can just drop a gear, and I find that fun, dropping a gear and just flooring it.
Yeah, like obviously you're doing that legally, but wink wink. Yeah, so the way that it's automatic only is an up and a down. Yeah. Because it gives the people that maybe are not used to manuals, or they don't like manuals, they can't get on with it, or maybe for other reasons, I could be there all day making reasons, but making that
think
automatic.
Most of it is because there's a lot of horsepower.
Yeah.
It would just make the car be able to take that horsepower and put it to rear wheel better. Because I know when I got my 2 litre, I kept having a lot of problems where I'd put my foot down, going from a smaller range, and put my foot down, and I'd put my into gear. I'd jerk forward. So I've had to learn how to get from that. Where with the automatic, it would just keep it going.
Also, with the automatic, obviously, a computer. I'm really sorry to say this. A lot of people are gonna have a go at me here, but it is a computer can calculate much better reaction time compared to us. Because like, at the end of the day, that everyone's done it. Don't say you haven't. You've grinded a gear.
Yeah.
That you know you go to put it in and go like it goes all over the place. You shit yourself. You look around you embarrassed. With an automatic, it does it automatic. Yeah, it just does it for you. It does it the right time. I'm pretty sure there's going to be presets. There's going to be economical, probably sport. And
I'd say the M135i is kind of the sports. Well, even though they've got the M Sports and the Sports, the M35i is the top of the range. Well, not top. It's the high powered. It is the one that previous boy racers would want.
Yeah.
However, the SE, M Sports and Sports, they all come with 3 types of engines. You've got the 116D, which is a 3-cylinder 1.5 diesel, which creates 114 brake horsepower, which comes in automatic or manual. You've got the 118i, which again is a 3-cylinder 1.5. However, this time it is a petrol and creates 138 brake horsepower. And you've got the 118D, which is a 4-cylinder 2-litre diesel, which creates 147 brake horsepower, again coming in automatic and manual.
So they're basically, I don't like the way they've gone about that, kind of. Like, I feel like they should have put, like, okay, I know you've got, what is it, the 2-litre petrol.
Yeah.
For the, what's the name?
You got the 2-litre petrol for the M135i, but you got a 2-litre diesel for the the 118D.
Yeah, this is the one thing I don't like about BMW. I think BMW and Mercedes do it. Is that the low classes are really low brake horse.
Yeah.
Like I know that's for a reason because they're cheaper. I know that. But then also it just jumps to this insane figure of 306 brake horsepower. Like, there's nothing in between.
I mean, 147 brake horsepower being their top end.
Yeah.
Like their second highest engine. It is quite a jump. I mean, basically you're doubling your horsepower. Maybe
they should have because I know I've noticed this lately as well. Is that a lot of people are going with 3 cylinders instead of 4-cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
And 3-cylinder used to be quite unreliable. Like it couldn't go to high speeds. I think you used to get knocking and stuff like that. But obviously they're a lot better now because I know the Fiesta ST's got it, the new one. But maybe they should have done a 1.6 and maybe increased that power a little bit at the 1.5. Like I don't know. I don't like the way BMW and Mercedes do that because they force you almost. So they're like, here you go, here you can have BMW, but you're gonna have not that good specs. Or you could go to this insane thing, which I think is around 45 grand. Like that's to get a decent spec, 2 litre 300 brake horsepower. Like,
I mean, they have. I mean, when you look at who would be using the 1 Series though.
Yeah, that's true.
It is going to be more of a running around car, maybe the odds. Whereas if you're probably going on a long distance, or business trips, you maybe go for the Series 3.
That is very true. I do agree with that one. But yeah, I like BMWs. Some of them are really nice. The one I really like lately is the 6 Series and I believe it's the 5 Series, the older model. The guy, I've got a guy down the road who's got one, and I really like the look of those. But yeah, just the way that they do the engines, it's just. I mean, that's my opinion. There's probably people out there.
And them being a BMW, they're going to be techie. So no matter what spec you have, what engine you have, they all come with aircon, Bluetooth, BMW Live Cockpit Plus, Apple CarPlay, cruise control, LED headlights, and front and rear parking sensors, with the optional of having a heads-up display, which has been taken from the 3 Series.
But the question is, does it include indicators?
Oh, I don't know. That's usually an option extra for BMWs, isn't it?
Yeah. So bit of banter there. But also, they're introducing features as an anti-roll,
anti-understeer system, which is apparently taken from the i3S. Now, I can't talk much about this system. I've never heard of an anti-understeer system. So maybe if you know a lot more, especially if it's taken from the i3S, sorry about the rain. Just comment, maybe a bit of information in the description, in the comments for us. Teachers.
Yeah. I think understeer tends to come from, I think it's front wheel drives. I think I've heard that. Yeah. That's the only thing I know about understeer, because as you said, we're not race drivers. No. We don't go on the track. Like, for God's sakes, I own a Defender. I ain't exactly take this on the track, am I?
With no power steering.
Well, no, that's power steering.
What is it?
Yeah, it's just the early stages, so it's like you turn a little bit and do anything.
So, as I say, as recap, we went over the new Defender, the new electric Porsche Taycan, and the new BMW 1 Series. Thank you for watching. I'm Robert.
And I'm Jake.
And this was Driven TV, Driven News.